Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another in-depth review here on NNT Auto Reviews. My name is Tyler, very excited behind the camera as always, and today we are checking out one of my personal favorite cars ever. And it is of course the 2020 BMW M2 Competition. Okay, so as in traditional manner of my channel, I like to show you guys the original window sticker to see what kind of options and whatnot we're working with. Now, as a full disclaimer, this car isn't brand new, although it is current model year. It has a couple of thousand miles and it was just traded in here at our dealership here. And I thought I'd give it a whirl. Let's see what this car looks like, since this is quite honestly one of my favorite cars ever. But back to the window sticker here, we'll check out our options. So the way BMW sets the stickers up is they kind of put the options first, since they are usually equipped with quite a few options. This one, not too many. We have the optional Hockenheim silver metallic paint, the executive package, which comes with the heated steering wheel, the full LED lights, automatic high beams, wireless charging, and a Wi-Fi hotspot. If we continue down the features list, you can definitely pause to see what's included. And there's a few optional extras down towards the bottom. We have the carbon fiber rear spoiler, the wheel locks, the all-weather floor mats, and we also have a $995 destination fee, which comes to our total vehicle price of $62,670. Now, if we take a look up here, BMW gives us a list of the standard features. Again, feel free to pause the video to get more information. We have maintenance plans and fuel economy information, as well as our crash ratings and parts content over here as well. And then some shipping information down below. But enough of that, let's get into the details of this car. Okay, so walking around the side of the M2 Competition, there are a few little add-ons to this car that the owner has done to it, just cosmetic things, and I'll show you that in just a bit. It's the little lip spoiler over here and down the side as well. So this is just non-factory add-ons this car has, just as, you know, another disclaimer. But again, taking a look at this side, you could really see the nice shadow lines that this car produces. So like from the front of the fender all the way back to like the middle of the quarter panel, very nice little styling elements. And as you can see, the door as well is kind of like in a convex shape, so it gives you some pretty neat shadow lines. But the color we're working with today is again that Hockenheim silver metallic. It is a little bit of an optional extra, but it gives you a really nice looking paint color. It's kind of, you don't really see too often. It's like a mix between a really light gray and like a white. And it is one of 5 color options in 2020 for the M2 Competition. And the wheelbase stands at an even 106 inches. And we can discuss one of the more important features of this car, and of course that is the drivetrain, and that it's only available in rear wheel drive. Very important for having lots of fun in a car. Okay, so details of the exterior on the 2020 BMW M2 Competition. Very nice head-on view there, very mean looking car. And we'll start up here with our headlamps, which are fully adaptive LED units. Now, LED headlights do come standard, but the adaptive functions are an option that comes in the executive package. But we are working with that executive package, so we get LED high and low beams, turn signals, and daytime running lights. Taking a look down here, we have these very nicely styled air vents. You can actually see the intercoolers to either side. You can also see the front parking sensors, so that's pretty important to let you know that there's maybe a curb in front of you, so you don't have to hit that very low front splitter. We have the M2 badging with the beautiful kidney grills that are all blacked out. very aggressive styling for the front end here, and it really grabs your eye. So pretty standard sized hoods up here, nothing crazy. But if we take a look down at the wheels, these are the wheels you'll be getting on all of the M2 competitions. Very beautiful looking, very sporty looking as well, like these dished out M Sport wheels. Now they are sized at 19 inches, however they are staggered as far as the width goes. The front tires measure 9 inches and the rear tires measure 10 inches across. So the rear tire just gives you that 1 inch extra of bite so that you don't lose traction on a launch. Very beautiful looking wheels nonetheless. Huge brake rotors and 6 piston calipers up front, 4 piston calipers out back, and the front tires measure 245/35. Very beautiful wheels. We have our little M2 badging on the side there with some accents. Taking a look at the roof, a sunroof is optional. However, this one, the owner wanted to keep the top heaviness down for the track handling, so we went with no sunroof. We have these beautiful sculpted mirrors here, which kind of have the wing effect going on for the aerodynamics. And we also have the LED turn signals on the mirror as well. Smart key entry on both the door handles. If you see the little ribbed pattern, you just press on that, it'll beep and lock the doors. Put your hand behind the handle, the doors will unlock. Taking a look down the side, you have these pretty neatly dished out rocker panels here. And you also have this protective film. So as you can see, the rear quarter panel is pretty widened out, and that creates a lot of area for dirt and dust to collect on there. So BMW put this protective film there so no, you don't get any chips on your paint. Good thinking. And again, back here, the tires measure 19/10. And the rear tires are sized at 265/35. And taking a look at the rear, our lights back here are fully LED, so turn signals, regular running lights, brake lights, all of that, all LEDs. And we also have up here an optional carbon fiber spoiler. So very nice. As far as badging back here, it's pretty minimalist. You just have the BMW badging and the M2 competition badging. Of course, it's all blacked out, which gives a pretty cool look. We have parking sensors that go all the way across the rear bumper, as well as right underneath the BMW symbol, we have the trunk release and reversing camera. And a very nice carbon fiber splitter with our blacked out exhaust, giving that beautiful inline 6 growl. Okay, so starting off the interior on the M2 competition, you can see that the 2 Series comes with the frameless glass, And first of all, we'll talk about the color options. Now there's only two, with black being a basic coloring, but you can choose between having this blue stitching or also having an orange colored stitching. So materials are pretty much class standard, so soft touch up here, hard touch down here, and then a nice soft leather armrest right there. You have some suede and the contrast stitching, the blue stitching, looks very nice. You have your window controls, power folding mirror controls as well over here. Your metallic door handle. Also on M2s, you will get a 12-speaker Harman Kardon audio system. A storage cubby on the door as well. Some very nice side sills, so gloss black M2 competition branded. On the left of the dash we have an air vent, your automatic lighting controls as well as your gauge dimmer. We have our driver's assistance function, so we could turn on and off our forward collision and our lane keep assist. We have our trunk release button over here and our hood release. The nice sport pedals, so your dead pedal and your good old 3 pedals, since this is a 6-speed manual. We also have the heated steering wheel button and the release for the tilt telescoping. Very nice attention to detail on these M Sport seats. You could see that the blue is kind of peeping in from the holes in the seat, which is pretty cool looking. Very nice looking seats, full powered. You can even adjust your bolstering control, so how much you want to hug it or how much you want to have it loose. You also have 2-person memory as well and 4-way lumbar. Another nice touch is that the seat belts have the 3 colors of the M division. So for the M2, you get the fairly traditional BMW key. Very nice looking key with the metallic accents on the face. You have the unlock. Lock is actually the BMW symbol, the trunk release, and the panic alarm. And in case you need a physical key, you can see there's a little button on the back. You just press that button and the physical key will slide out in case you need it. But as within any manual transmission cars, the way to start it, you just make sure it's in neutral. And there's a red highlighted button on the dash. Press that and the 3-liter inline 6 will roar. What an amazing sounding engine. Okay, so let's start off the driver's cockpit of the interior with this beautiful leather wrapped M Sport steering wheel. Now again, with traditional M cars, you have this very thick wheel, and some people like it, some people don't. To me, I love it. And they even have these little grip bolsters in there with the M colored stitching on the inside. Very nice attention to detail. Small spokes on the steering wheel, as you can see. But as far as the functionalities go on the wheel, you have your cruise control over here, as well as your M1, M2 buttons, which are pretty much presets. Like, you know how you have your presets for your seats or your memory seats? The M1 and M2 corresponds to your performance settings. So if you're going on the track or you're going around some nice corners on, you know, a weekend or whatever, you just press the button and that'll remember all of the settings that you've customized. Pretty neat feature. Going across the airbag cover, we have our media controls. So we have our volume right here. We also have our skipping between our different mode right there, and then also our radio stations, Bluetooth, and voice command controls. Very happy to see no paddle shifters, and you know what that means? We have a manual transmission. What a great manual transmission too. Automatic rev matching. This thing is a dream to drive. Behind the steering wheel, we have the stalk for your turn signal, as well as your automatic high beams, as well as your regular high beams. You just pull it. And we also have this button that says BC, and no, it doesn't mean before Christ. It actually gives you more information in the center screen. We also have this stalk over here that'll show you, will give you actually your wiper functionalities. Then we also have our start stop button and our auto start stop button too. Very minimalist gauges, not a whole lot to distract you. Front and center is your speedometer and tachometer, and that's what you need when you're on the track. You also have smaller fuel gauge, and then kind of like a economics gauge or something like that. Then we also have customizable information down in the center over here and on that side too. So just press that BC button on the stalk and you'll get a little bit more information. You have your miles to empty, your average fuel economy, instant fuel economy, average speed, your miles per hour, date and time, coolant temperature. So it's pretty much just small things that you could cycle through. Very minimalist display up here, which is again what you want for the track. You don't want a million things trying to distract you from taking the right lines or anything like that. Up here we have a very nice dash, pretty much soft to the touch materials. We have a center channel speaker up there as well. Then we also have our iDrive system and this sort of tablet design that kind of sticks up from the dash. And the thing that I like about this is that you can control it touchscreen or with the rotary dial. But let's just take a look at some of the screens that it has to offer. We'll go into the media and radio screen, which we have all of our presets that'll show up over here, as well as little icons towards the side. And if we go back to home, we can see we have our communication screen, which is our pretty much our phone screen. We have navigation. We can input a destination over here. We also have traffic information. If we scroll to our next menu, we have our connected drive, which has to do with our weather apps. We also have all of these different apps here as well. Online searching. We have our vehicle settings, which I'm going to switch over to the rotary dial. We have some shortcuts around it, such as your map, nav, menu, media communication screen, back, and an option. This is also a touch pad, so if you're entering something onto your navigation, you could kind of just draw letters and it'll recognize it. We have all of our different vehicle settings, iDrive settings, and you can pause the video if you need to see more information. You can customize the contents of the main menu. You can also customize your M1 and M2 modes as well on this screen here. Different driver profiles, vehicle status, which we can check our tire pressures, our engine oil level. Pretty neat. So we have both the efficient menus as well as our sport displays, which I think is a little bit more important. So real-time power, horsepower and torque. We have driving information and electronic owner's manual as well. We also have notifications, and that pretty much does it for the iDrive screen. Now, as I say in all my videos, we're just going to give you a short outlook of what this screen is like. Again, you could definitely go on YouTube and find devoted videos to this screen, spending half an hour or however long explaining all the features. Now in this stack over here is kind of where all your buttons are laid out. You have your air vents over here. You have your lock unlock for the doors, your hazards button. We have all of our physical radio buttons right here. So mode, AM, FM, volume knob, all of your presets, as well as your CD player. We have our climate control over here with our 3-stage heated seats for both sides of our defrosters, our temperature in the center, max AC on the other side, fan speed, as well as what you want the air to blow. So you just press the button and you'll see where the little guy lights up. That's where the air is going to come out of. So pretty easy to get used to radio and climate control. We have a rubber pad over here where you could store your phone, and then also a covered lid with a couple of cup holders, a USB, and a 12-volt power outlet. We have a couple of buttons down here which turns off your traction control and also cycles between the different modes of your steering feel. So you have 3 different modes that will actually show up in the center display. So we have Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus steering feel. And we also have Efficient, Sport, and Sport Plus, the dynamic of the engine. You can also turn on and off our parking aid over here. Again, you saw the iDrive controller a little bit earlier too. And then we have the almighty 6-speed manual transmission. Now again, this is a purist car. This car is meant to have a manual, although you can get it with a 7-speed dual clutch. This one obviously has the manual transmission. So decent throws, not too bad. Then we can also put it all the way over into reverse, which it'll bring up our backup camera and parking sensors. You can see the lines move as you move the steering wheel to predict your path. So I absolutely love this manual transmission. Just the rev matching alone makes such a difference. Manual parking brake down here, which is awesome to see. You almost never see these anymore, with the blue stitching. We also have an armrest that picks up. You could snap your phone in here if it's capable. You also have a USB inlet too. One more thing I'd like to point out is this real carbon fiber. Now you can notice the imperfections in it, and that's leading me to believe that this is real, and it actually has a texture to it, and it's found all throughout the cabin. So up here on the dash, down below where the shifter is, and also a little bit on the side, which is very beautiful. I have an auto dimming mirror up here with your 3 garage door home links and a compass up there. We also have some lighting up here, so smaller lighting and then a larger light in the center, SOS controls and airbag information too. We have a couple of visors, small visors with a light and a card holder that flip down, and they will extend to cover light on the side. However, they don't extend any more than this. They don't move in and out. Not too bad of a headliner too, completely black and pretty soft to the touch. So at this point in the video, we're going to make sure that camera focuses, and we'll see what the rear seats look like. Now I'm going to adjust the driving position to a comfortable position for my 5'10" self, so you can actually see if there's any usable room back there. However, before we do that, I'd like to point out the glove box. You can open it up. It's a decent amount of space, just enough to put your owner's manual in there too. The passenger door is pretty much like the driver's, and the passenger seat is pretty much like the driver's as well. So now that we hopped out of the car, to gain access to the back, you'll see that there's a little pull handle right here, along with these arrows. So the upper arrow will scoot the seat forward in order for you to gain an easier access into the rear seats. And we'll put the seat back. See how much room we have back here. So at a normal driving position for my 5'10" self, it looks like I have about a ½ inch of legroom. So it's not completely unusable for a small coupe like this. Actually pretty impressed with the amount of room we have back here. You even have the color keyed seat belt with the M stitching back here, and the headrest that folds up if you need it. You also have coat hooks padded armrest with some stitching in Alcantara. You have a couple of air vents back here with a 12-volt power outlet, a little bit of a storage tray. Pretty nice quality leather as well. And it's not too bad back here. It really isn't for such a small car. And again, to get out, you just pull the lever, and press the up arrow on the seat. It'll slide forward as much as it can, and you can just hoist yourself right out. Not too bad of a process at all. Okay, so now that we're around back, I'm going to go ahead and press on the trunk release button. Now, it does not pop open for you, so you're actually going to have to do some work and grab behind the BMW logo and lift the trunk up. So, behind the rear seats, you do have a pretty good amount of space back here. Now, although the opening isn't all that large, once you get the object in, you'll have pretty much a good amount of space to work with. Now we have the all-weather floor mats in here, so you can see what those look like, and also the carpeted ones, which you can see has the blue stitching on the side. We have a 12-volt power outlet back here, some grocery bag hangers, and then also some tabs to pull where you can fold the seat 60/40. You can see the split back there in case you need more room. We also have the front license plate bracket, a trunk net, as well as a little storage cubby back there. It also is illuminated, and you don't see all the typical wires and whatnot. They seem to hide that pretty well. A little handle on the side where you can just grab and close the trunk right on down. So the fuel filler is on the passenger side, and you do have a 13.7 gallon fuel tank. BMW recommends that you put in premium fuel because of the turbocharger and such a high performance engine. But according to the EPA, this is probably the most important part of the video. You should be seeing right around 18 miles per gallon in the city and 20 on the highway. And this cap will unscrew, and there's a little pin on the other side. You put the pin right through the hole right there, and it'll stay right up and won't scratch your paint while you're filling up gas. To conclude this video, I hope you have enjoyed the 2020 BMW M2 competition just as much as I have. I know I've had a big smile on my face the whole time I've been doing this car. And I hope you stay with us for future in-depth reviews here on N&T Auto Reviews.